And Rob G being on the other side of the glass, he is as excited as anyone in this building because he believes, as do I and many others, that Kawhi Leonard is joining the Lakers. In addition to being happy because he's a Laker fan, he also, if this happens, will get chicken wings from me. Now, he thinks he's going to act all plugged in and like Kawhi himself told him he was coming to the Lakers. But it really was just a guess. But I thought he was going to the Clippers. I think, Rob, you thought the same thing? Most of the year, I thought he was going to the Clippers. If not staying, I didn't really think he's going to stay at all, but in Toronto.
Yeah, I thought it was the Clippers. I really thought they had an inside track, but I guess not. I guess it doesn't matter.
We'll
I'm not mentioning
happens.
the wings that I owe you, Rob G. I don't care. I'm not giving you 40 wings. I'm going to give you one at a time.
No.
I'm going to give it to you one at a time for 40 days.
Didn't somebody give you 300 wings?
600.
600 wings. So you only have to give 40. That's nothing.
I'm going to give him his 40. Is there something wrong with that? One at a time?
So we can all eat them.
I'll bring him.
So he only gets like
Rob
5.
G, you don't want him one day. You have something to eat for 40 straight
you know
days.
What? Intern Jonah gave me a good idea. I want the Bobby Bonilla deferment package.
And see, there you go.
So I'll end up with like 55 wings instead of 40 from you, which would be nice.
You know what? You would wind up getting like, wings for the next, 15 years? Is that the way the Mets did it? Because the original deal was $5.9 million, and the Mets will wind up paying them like 50-something million, right? Isn't it?
That's
35?
ridiculous.
Like
that
35. It was 5.9, and they deferred it. They owe them $35 million. What kind of math is that?
And you wonder why they haven't won a World Series
Since 86.
Right.
They suck.
That's right.
All right. But anyway, Rob G is all excited, and, we'll see if this happens. I've been told by some people that they're 85, 90% sure it's going to happen. One person very close to it said Kawhi has not made a decision yet, so we will just have to wait and see. I do think he's joining the Lakers, as I said. And, Rob, you've got an interesting take that if this does happen, and it'll be LeBron and Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard with the Lakers, that this would be terrible. We both said it's not the best thing for competitive balance in the NBA. That's for certain. But you think it would be terrible, and you have an interesting take on it. Why? Do share.
I just think it'll be worse than what we went through. We've been through that with the Miami thing when they went there, and not 2, not 3, and all that. And everybody was like, okay, we'll see how this works out. And I don't think it's been the greatest thing for the league. Everybody complained. All the Laker fans, including Rob G, who all bellyached when we saw the second version of it, was when Golden State picked up KD, and then all those Laker fans all bellyached about how terrible this is, and it ain't fair. Who wants to watch this? And now here they are embracing exactly what they hated. So here we are. We're going to have an NBA. We're seeing a third version of this, thinking that what happened with Toronto, where they did it the old-fashioned way, where they went out and they traded their superstar for another superstar. They didn't get something without having to give up something. So they did that. They took a gamble on the guy, and they also added pieces through trades, not forming a super team, and they won a championship. So I thought that was going to be the magical elixir to say it can be done. If the Lakers were going to go out and just do the thing, right? They made a trade. They gave up their players. They get AD, and they go with that group and try to win. Fine, because they had to give up something to get AD. But to then go out and get the best player currently playing in the league who just won a championship, and is that guy who everybody's saying is that guy, because we saw what he did this year with no lottery players. Right. I'm talking about Kawhi. To go from that to revisiting this again, and all I get, I told you this before, my cousin Mike, nothing but a Laker fan. I guess I'm not going to watch basketball for the next 2 years. I get from everybody, I'm talking about fans who just are basketball fans. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see it. That's what I get. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about the people that I know who are basketball fans. don't want to see it. They're like bummed out. Here we go again. Lopsided.
Are they Laker fans?
Competitive. No, my cousin is.
And he's not excited about it.
He said it means I'm not going to watch the Lakers for the next 2 years. That's what he texted me. I could show it to you.
You and I.
He is a big little cousin Mike. I told you this before. Remember, I think I brought him up to you before. But he's a basketball fan. He's a Laker fan. He didn't want LeBron James when he first came here.
Who's he
and
want?
Now he doesn't want. Maybe he was just a big Kobe fan.
He don't sound like a Laker fan to me.
He's a Laker fan.
Look, here's the deal. We talked about it last week. In terms of competitive balance, yeah, it will mess up that to a degree. Like if Kawhi stays in Toronto or goes to the Clippers, we've got roughly 10 teams that will enter next season with legitimate chances or hopes to win a championship.
And that sounds great, right?
Well, it sounds great for a year or two. But historically, what has been proven is that dynasties, juggernauts, dominant teams are good for the business of sports, in this case, basketball. In the 1980s, 5 teams reached the finals the entire decade. The Lakers, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Rockets, and the Pistons. And it's viewed as the golden era of basketball, resurrected the NBA. In the 90s, it was Michael Jordan dominating. And then when he left, Houston won it twice. And it was a great decade of basketball. Obviously, the Jordan era was huge. So I'm with you, Rob. I would like to see this 1 year or two where it was just wide open. But then I'd like to get back to the great teams. I think like in the 70s, you had 8 teams actually win NBA titles. In 10 years, 8 teams won crowns. And it's the worst decade in NBA history. Yeah, we talked about it before. That's when the league was on tape delay. The finals were on tape delay.
But it had a lot of other issues. It wasn't just because it was spread around.
But still,
the league was a drug-infested league that people turned off to. That's really, if you go back to the NBA, and the Phoenix Suns had a big...
But it wasn't just that. You had some great players playing in that era.
Yeah, it was different.
You had Dr. J, it was Dennis
a different
Johnson,
era.
You had Bill Walton. I mean, you had great... So my point is just that I get what you're saying about the competitive balance. But if Kawhi goes to the Lakers, this is going to be good for basketball. It's going to be good for the business of basketball. When LeBron went to Miami, people boo-hooed, people criticized him. It was not fair, but it was a great story. People had to see what was going on in training camp. People had to watch that team play. How's Wade and LeBron going to fit together? And even if you wanted to watch them to hate them, to see them fail, it put eyeballs on the game, and I think this would do the same thing. But now, on the flip side, to your point, we're going to pretty much know the Lakers are getting to the finals, or they should be dominant. It's a little different from Golden State because we got to see how these pieces fit. But those 3 are so good, they should be dominant. And so for a year or two, yeah, I'd like to see, 10 teams. Are the Clippers going to make it? Is the Utah Jazz? Are the Nuggets? The Blazers? Is this their year? The Lakers? Will AD and LeBron get it done? Can Golden State come back and surprise everybody even without KD? Like, all that would have been nice. And then who wins the East? But only for a year or two. Then I want a juggernaut. And I just think ultimately, though, it's going to be good for the business of basketball if this happens.
I think we saw fatigue with the Warriors. The ratings go look. I'm not saying that they fell off the map, but there's a fatigue thing of the same teams always getting there. And I don't know, and it's in a lot of sports. It's not just the Patriots. The NFL Super Bowl ratings were the worst ratings in 10 years. Now, that doesn't mean that nobody watched. But there's a fatigue. The Patriots have made it 6, 7 times. You go, okay already. We understand it. And sometimes you think people would be loving it to see, Brady. How could you not want to see Brady win another Super Bowl? My God, we're watching one of the greatest quarterbacks in history.
That was what I wanted to see.
But I'm just saying,
history made.
But the ratings were down. It was like a 10-year low. And I'm just saying, there's a fatigue factor that I think people do fall in line with.
But
sometimes.
Here's the thing, Rob.
That's all I'm saying.
You start off by saying, You know, the Lakers, they're going to go out now, get the arguably the best player in the league to go with LeBron and AD and blah, blah. Here's the thing. What would you have them do? I mean, I don't think you're blaming the Lakers, right? Like that, they're supposed to try to be as great as they can. They're not supposed to worry about is it fair or not.
I'm not.
So who do you blame?
Of course,
I mean, what is this?
Kawhi Leonard will lose all that he gained from this year. There'll be a lot of people after this goes down, if it goes down, whatever, who won't look at Kawhi the same way. I think Kawhi is like was a throwback. He was so different from most players and just wanted to play, and he wasn't caught up in all this. And nobody believed, very few, that he was interested in that, being a part of something like that. And I'm just saying,
if anybody believed that. You're right.
All right, I think that people who really looked at him was like, dude, this guy's a throwback. He just kind of wants the ball. You even said it. You brought it up about. He never looked at his team and goes, I can't play with these guys.
Right.
There's nobody. Well, I'm with the Raptors. He just played.
Right.
He just played with whoever was there, and they won a championship. And it was so refreshing. It was so different. And now
it was refreshing because you picked the Raptors in 6.
Well,
you, it was refreshing.
Well, it's refreshing. But I'm just saying, when you look at all that, and then to think that he's just going along with what's happened is AAU mentality of the NBA. I just lump him in with everybody else after this.
But here's the thing. To me, Kawhi's a made man. He's beyond reproach at this moment. Because of just what you said. Like, you may criticize him, but he certainly can't be criticized like Kevin Durant was when he went to Golden State, or even like LeBron was when he went to Miami. Right? You agree with that?
I just think
he's not a ring-chasing bandwagon guy, you know?
But I think he will lose some of his, I don't know, I don't want to call it folklore, but just the way he seemed to be different. And
Changes
that's what made
his image to you.
His image. He's not the guy. He's not the guy I thought he was.
All right, Skip. Rob. All right,
I'm
it
just
is
telling
the
you.
Odd Couple 8.